of the 8-time world champ S.Gilmore, who's out there in the lineup at the moment. Really big matchup, this one, up against Bettylou Sakura Johnson to even the ledger. Ronnie Blakey with Richie Lovett. We've got Bettylou taken off here at the moment. Very self-assured, super confident. She's going to kick out of this one. Doesn't see the opportunity down the line.
We, of course, had the event down at Burleigh Heads last year, and we're back up at Snapper on home turf for this lady.
S.Gilmore survived that opening round, and she is tucking into the pit. And let's see if she'll build some confidence. Got the victory in the opening round, but certainly is capable of giving more with some bigger numbers. Just flowing nicely down the line here. It's a clean pace, not over surfing this wave, just hitting the sections.
So she's going to wage a comeback. Let's have a look at this ride. As we check the replay, little check turn, cut down to start off. Now the wave starts to wall up. She eyes up the barrel, gets a bit of vision. Kind of chandeliers as she exits. And then a few smooth cuts down the line. And there's that beautiful flowing style that we're used to seeing from Stephanie. Comes up to the junction and a creative little layback.
Steph's the best tube rider on the women's tour. She can get so deep. She gets really compact, but she has amazing control, can really manage the speed behind the curtain. As we see now, Bettylou getting started. She's got some tighter angles in her surfing and obviously was victorious here on the Gold Coast last year, claiming her first championship tour win, and she's on her way to a big number already. Explosive out of the lip, and that's where she might hold a bit of an edge over Steph. If Steph can't find those more vertical sections herself, Bettylou, you know she's going to attack the pocket of the wave. Editors Rich will talk about their coaches in a minute, but take us through this approach from Betty and just how well she paced herself before getting to that critical section.
Yeah, really nice tight calves to start off with. Comes up here and then jams it. So throws that little layback jam. Really aggressive style of a turn. And that's what she's been working on the last couple of seasons. Looks like Steph showing some interest.
Well, Steph has got to use her expert local knowledge to pick off the best waves here against Bettylou. This one doesn't eventuate down the line.
Sleep, because it was just like a couple moments of like adrenaline that were just like going so much crazy stuff happening.
And this was Bettylou on the wave behind her, so a bigger wave, a more aggressive start with more speed, Ron. I could just see a noticeable uptake of speed. She got caught behind there though, so some downtime. The judges will take note of that. She does get the finish, somewhat lateral, but I did like the indication on the first turn there.
Is she ready? Because I wonder, like, I mean, she's a veteran.
Yeah,
like,
of course.
You girls, they weren't surfing like that in pipeline.
Yeah, I honestly think that our younger generation will smoke them. And they haven't been competing as well. And that it's interesting coming back after not competing for a minute. You know, it takes a while to figure it all out again. And of course with Carissa, you know, being a mom and finding new ways for what works for her, I feel like will be, you know, a challenge in a way, I feel like, because it won't be something she's used to. Yeah.
To validate for Bettylou in this heat as well, and she just had an opportunity on a nice looking wall and kind of got it wrong herself. Lucky for her, Steph also took a fall there. But Gilmore up on a beautiful wave. How's that carve to get things started? Incredible. This is going to feel good. Will this wave stand up on the inside? We can already hear the crowd getting behind Gilmore. But this wave is going to split. And Gilmore's going to kick out.
Last couple of decades, big TP section at the start of this ride. Love the carve down there. Really laying it on rail. You can see how she gets compressed as she comes out of the turn, and that slingshots her into the next section. Unfortunately, the wave just tapers down.
And the multiple world champions, the greatest of all time, here competing in this event, as we see Steph now taking another insider here. This one's got a nice shape to it. She's starting to get this forehand carve dialed in, but she's going to need some high impact vert hits as well.
Utilised extensively yesterday. Bird's eye view here. The Bonsoy replay of Steph. A couple of beautiful wraps. The wave starts to wall up in front of her. A nice smooth arc off the top, and then Bettylou on this next section.
And she rides that one right through to the inside. Bettylou picking off the scraps down the line. And we'll see what kind of work she got done with 5.5 minutes to go. A very important exchange here. Steph trying to catch up after their opening rides.
A quick arc into a closeout hit. So only the 2 manoeuvres.
An event draw, obviously starting in that first round. There is going to be some nerves if you've had a bad start. Steph using her priority here. It is a smaller wave, but it's got a steeper face on these opening sections. And Steph just glides over that section and now really hands that control back to Bettylou. An uncharacteristic manoeuvre here at Snapper Rocks. You don't often see Steph fall here. And Bettylou now, with just under a minute to go, has an opportunity to bank a 4.84 and seize the lead. This wave stretching out and Betty chasing the open face. Was there enough in that to turn the heat, Rich? There's some silver linings to that performance.
She doesn't even know. She didn't even quite know that she'd got the win there. She's getting confirmation and pumps the fist.
Steph, wow. I mean, we turned up this morning. It looks like it's absolutely cooking. And in that heat, you two kind of got more into a combat headspace rather than just, finding the waves and the platform to do your best surfing.
Yeah, I feel like you get so excited watching all the free surfing, and it's just like, wow, there's so many barrels through the inside here. And then, I don't know, it felt like in our heat, maybe the tide had just come up that little bit more and the east current or the east swell just sort of separated a bit. And next minute you're taking off on one thinking it's going to grow, and then it would like race off and close out, or would be too fat. And yeah, I don't know, I was pretty, I was in two minds out there. But Bettylou, she's such an incredible surfer and fierce athlete, and I just thought, okay, if she's going to, because she sat really wide for whenever she had priority, so I was like, all right, I'm just going to sit up top, try squeeze one in, and it was pretty satisfying getting my last hit as she's taking off, because I don't think I'd make that section anyway. So yeah, to get that under priority was just a really good confidence boost for the rest of the heat, but it was so sketchy all the way up to the end.
Mate, that was a masterstroke, creating that space. Even the commentary, could see that there was too much space there and that was leaving the door open. But so, class, experience coming to the fore there. But then there were other decisions in that heat where I bet you were just giving yourself uppercuts.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Like that first wave Bettylou got with priority and she kicked out, and I looked at it and I was like, I think that's a really good wave. I was really bummed that she took off on it, and then when she kicked out, I was like, oh, that's good for me. But I almost didn't want to show it. I wanted it, and then I just let it go. But yeah, I turned around and I think that was the best wave of the heat. None of us were on it, so a lot of bad decisions were being made by both of us. It was kind of like first heat of the day, nervous. I haven't surfed a heat against Bettylou, well, maybe ever, or in years. So yeah, it was a really tough one, but got there in the end, so I'm very happy.
Yeah, and everyone on the beach is extremely happy as well. They're going to get to see you surf again in this one. You said yesterday there's a little bit to clean up, but that's 2 heats still. That's 2 heats though now, and it feels like, when you get those heats out of the way, you can really start to open up and relax, because you're kind of reminding yourself of what to do and what not to do in heats.
Totally, and I've been in I've tried 4 different boards, and I've I've been all over the place with my boards, and I'm just feeling very rusty. So it's been quite the journey, but very happy to get another heat win, and I just want to get barreled, I just want to get barreled in the heat. So hopefully this afternoon, a little less water on the bank, it should be some nice little head dips for me.
Surf is absolutely firing. We can't wait to see you back out there.
Thanks. Woo!